Alrighty fam, it's happened. We finally have news about Starfield's very first update for the year. Bethesda Game Studios just shared with us a bit of information about this upcoming patch, and I want to tell you everything you need to know in today's video. The most important thing is that they're saying this patch is the biggest yet for the game. We'll be the true judges of that, but it's looking good. All signs are positive at the moment. A lot of people are very excited about this news. So in today's video, I want to tell you everything you need to know about this patch, and I'll share my thoughts throughout. If you enjoy it, please like, I would really appreciate it. Subscribe if you're new with notifications if that's possible. But let's not waste time. Let's get right into it. On Twitter today, Bethesda Game Studios tweeted out the following. Quote, next week on January 17, we'll be putting together our biggest at Starfield game update yet into Steam beta with over 100 fixes and improvements. I'm loving this already, with a planned release date for all players 2 weeks later. So obviously for those of you on console, or if you don't have access to the Steam beta branch, it's not too long after. You'll be getting this update pretty soon. And then they go on to say, here's some of what you can expect. I just want to pause here and say, one, very, very good that Bethesda Game Studios is still utilizing the Steam beta. We are getting this update technically earlier than we probably would if we didn't have access to the Steam beta. And it gives them some ability to kind of address concerns before the update's pushed out to the rest of Steam users and also to those of you on console, Game Pass, etc., etc. So I'm really loving this. I hope this trend continues. I think it looks like it will because we got the Steam beta previously before. Again, I like how there's going to be a really quick turnaround in terms of the update being pushed to console players. And over 100 fixes and improvements. Admittedly, I've been critical to the previous updates because the patch notes have been tiny. If you've looked at a lot of them, most of them have been pretty small. I can't think of one that's been like more than 15, 20 lines long. I'd have to check those exact numbers, but they've always felt very small. 100 fixes and improvements means I'm going to have to scroll the web page a little bit to read everything. So keep it locked to this channel. We will go through the full patch notes when hopefully they are released next week. And I'll be playing the Steam update beta as well. But let's continue. The next tweet says the following. Quote, this update contains a multitude of fixes to quests. Eye of the Storm issues such as being unable to dock with the Legacy or data transfer not starting, and temples not showing up in Into the Unknown will no longer prevent Constellation from exploring the cosmos. So I never encountered these quest blockers, but that's usually how it goes. There are always some people that have specific quest blocking issues and you just can't progress in the quest line, or God forbid, you can't progress in the main quest. I've actively seen people with those issues. I'm really hoping for your sake as many of those are fixed as possible, because those are game breaking, especially when it comes to the main quest. If you literally can't progress, like what are you going to do? Like what are you expected to do? You try to reload an earlier save and that might have the same issue. Like there is no other way unless you start a new save file or wait for Bethesda Game Studios to fix it. So I want to see, honestly, probably above most other things, just for the sake of the rest of players, a lot of quest blocker fixes. It just has to happen. It's an absolute necessity. So this is good news, but we need to see the full patch notes to see whether they're actually fixing a lot of the big quest blockers that people are encountering. So let's see next week. But moving on to some of the stuff that I get really excited about, visual improvements. I wasn't expecting a lot of these, but we've got some here. So they say, quote in the next tweet, additionally, this update brings stability improvements and numerous graphics improvements from ranging from additional widescreen support to improved textures, lighting, and shadows. They even provide a before and after. So first of all, I will say, it's great for those with widescreen monitors that you're actually getting further support. That's always been a criticism. With BGS games, they never support widescreen properly from the get-go. They're learning a little bit, and whatever is provided to you here, I hope it is good. I hope it's exactly what you needed if you have a widescreen monitor. Like, this is like beyond due. This should have been in the game at launch, whatever they're bringing to the table, because I know that it's been lacking, but at least it's happening. But let's talk about two. Improved textures, lighting, and shadows. I wasn't expecting this. And as I said, they provided a before and after. Admittedly, when I was looking at this before and after on my mobile, I was like, there's no difference. Like, do you know that Alex Jones meme where he's standing with his shirt off and then 30 days later after working out, and it's the exact same picture? I was getting those vibes, but then I looked at it on an actual big screen on a desktop, and there are clear improvements to lighting and shadows, particularly on this character's face, of course. Like, you can see the lighting is a bit more nicely distributed, looks a bit more dynamic, less flat. And overall, to me, it's more of a pleasing image. And as I said, I wasn't expecting this because this is not something that I thought in the game, oh, it absolutely needs to be fixed. I don't like the lighting and shadows. These are clearly minor tweaks, but when you look at the before and after, it's a huge change. Huge change. And then you don't know what these improvements to lighting and shadows, let alone textures, is actually going to make to the environments and to the other aspects of the game, because it's not just going to be on the characters. It's going to be ideally on everything. Every object that has a light bouncing off of it should see some sort of improvements with improvements and changes to lighting and shadows. So that's great. Improved textures as well. Hopefully they fix a lot of the textures that are a little bit blurry at times. I remember encountering a few of those things in my playthrough. But this is good. This is good. I'm excited about it. And I like the fact that they're showing before and after changes. So keep that up, Bethesda, because that way we can actually see what has changed without needing like a YouTuber or whatever to show you the before and after. Really, really, really good. And then in the final tweet, they say, other fixes and improvements include sun disk geometry, planet ring shadows, bulldoze objects reappearing when returning to an outpost, ship hatches marked inaccessible, and another fix for asteroids following ships. The full update notes will be posted next week when the Steam beta is released. And that was about it. So I saw a lot of people really excited about planet ring shadows. Like, it's obviously something that you would hope to be in a game that has actual planet rings. You want to see lighting and shadows working properly and realistically, especially because they focus so much on, yeah, this planet is like orbiting around you in real time. And for the shadows not to actually be cast properly, bit of an issue. So it's good that they're fixing that. And again, they provide some images here. I want to pull those up right now to have a better look at them. How good does this game look? I know I'm a bit of a fanboy and I'm fanboying here, but this looks great. The planet ring shadows look freaking awesome as well. I'm liking this, Bethesda. I really am. All the other fixes too. I never encountered ship hatches being marked inaccessible. Sun disk geometry sounds great as well. Look, I tell you what, I'm excited. And I'm excited on a number of levels. Number one, because Bethesda Game Studios is actually sticking to what they said. One, we're getting this first update in February. That's what they said. But two, the fixes that they've said that they've been working on are actually coming to the game. I've been, admittedly, I think I said this earlier in the video, if I don't, I'm sorry. I've been critical about how light on previous updates have been with patch notes, right? And with actual fixes. This seems different. Like, this is actually like, wow, a substantive fix. I want to actually come back to the game and play it again because I want to notice and appreciate a lot of the changes that you've implemented. Even if there aren't any new features added to the game, like city maps and all the other stuff that they said they would add, these fixes are still appreciated. Like, if you're someone on a widescreen monitor, of course you're going to appreciate this stuff. If you're someone that notices, oh, the shadows on the faces don't look right, they're a little bit flat, you're going to notice this stuff. This is good. Like, we should be critical when they're not doing stuff right, but when they are actually providing us fixes, proper updates, and they actually, operate correctly, then we should be giving them some sort of praise for that as well. So Bethesda Game Studios, I'm really appreciative of that. Good to see all these fixes coming to the game. But you know what I'm also appreciative of? And this is definitely the most prevalent sentiment that I've seen in response to these tweets, is that people are actually recognizing Bethesda Game Studios stepping up their game when it comes to talking to the community. This has always been a little bit of a talking point, sticking point when it comes to Bethesda Game Studios. They don't talk to us enough. They tend to go just radio silent for ages on end. Another example, Fallout 4 Next Gen update. We didn't hear about that for well over a year. They absolutely need to talk to us more and to update us more on things, and not just sending memes and images on Twitter. That's different. But stuff like this, all right, is what we appreciate as fans. They needed to step it up, and this is a step in the right direction. And if you think about it, we'll probably get more updates as well after the Steam beta branch has been there for 2 weeks. We'll know what further changes are being made. And then after that, we're probably talking about 4 weeks until the next Steam beta branch, because they're doing updates every 6 weeks. Then we have more communication just a month later. This is what we wanted. This is exactly what we wanted to see. I'm freaking loving it. So let me know what you think in the comments below. I know this is probably going to be a shorter video, but I don't want to push it just for the sake of it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you like these updates? Are these sounding good to you? And until next time, this has been the Lone Vault Wanderer. Please take care of yourselves, and would you kindly keep fighting the good fight.